War of Thailand, we bring you greetings and good wishes. This film is intended to present to you various glimpses of Thailand from a cultural and perhaps touristic point of view. Thai classical dancers from the State Academy for Dancing and Music now greet you in Thai traditional manner. You will now see a short performance of the Thai classical dance in traditional costumes. And here is a performance of folk dancing from North Thailand. The costume that you now see is also traditional of the North. Thailand is a land of ancient culture. The two major religions of Asia, Hinduism and Buddhism, have given to the country its cultural heritage, as can be seen from these religious images of Hindu gods and of the Lord Buddha. These ancient images are either in bronze or in stone, made by some ancient peoples who inhabited the country before the Thai tribes migrated to it from South China. The images are objects of worship, and these young ladies are performing an act of worship in Thai traditional manner. From such earlier models, the Thai people themselves have made a great number of religious images according to their own interpretation of spiritual values. Through these images, they have expressed in concrete form their sense of absolute purity and gentleness and love, of nobility, and some of the images are the embodiment of spiritual strength. Here is a Buddhist temple in Bangkok at night time. On the day of a Buddhist festival, religious services are held in the evening at Bangkok's numerous temples. The sound that you now hear is cheering in the Thai style. After service, the congregation performs an act of worship, which is unique to Thailand, called the Vian Thien ceremony. Each worshipper holds a lighted candle and flowers in his hands and walk clockwise 3 times around a sacred precinct. This temple, a famous landmark in Bangkok, is called the Golden Mount. It is an artificial hill and is the only hill to be seen in the flat countryside upon which Bangkok is situated. The grounds of Buddhist temples are spacious and well laid out, for the temple, or wat as we call it, is not only a place of worship, but is also the center of Thai community life. Not very far south of Bangkok, one finds the most ancient shrine in the kingdom. Buddhism came to Thailand from India over 1,000 years ago, and it was here that the first Buddhist place of worship was built. This stupa or monument is also the highest in the country. And here is the famous monastery of Wat Po, well known for its magnificent Thai architecture and its large collection of classic Thai sculpture. The Royal Chapel of the Emerald Buddha, which is the holy of holies of Thai Buddhism, for it contains the Emerald Buddha, the most sacred and the most precious of all holy images in the kingdom. Another famous site, Wat Giang, or the Temple of Dawn. The tall cathedral-like monument is decorated entirely with porcelain of various colors. It was built 150 years ago on the bank of the Chao Phraya River, which runs through the heart of Bangkok. Here is a close-up view of some porcelain decorations on some of the roofs at the Temple of Dawn, looking towards the river. Across the river can be seen the spires of the royal palace. It's a busy river scene. The products of the country, such as rice, minerals, and teak logs, are brought to Bangkok by this main waterway. Thence they're shipped to World Market. In front of a highly decorative library in a monastery, the national game is being played. It is a ball game called tะกร. The ball is made of rattan. Any number of players may join in the game, the sole purpose of which is to give exercise and skill. There is no opposing team, and nobody wins in the end. Each player tries to keep the ball in the air as long as possible. In doing so, he may use his feet, his knees, his shoulders, and his head. The only rule in the game is that one mustn't hit the ball with one's hand. The game is somewhat characteristic of the spirit of the Thai people, who believe that a happy life is a life of cooperation without competition. Thailand is often described as the land of the yellow robes, for in this country there is a great number of Buddhist monks who forsake the world to live a monastic life of chastity and sanctity. Their only means of living is to receive food once a day in the early morning from the faithful. Thai temple architecture originated from Indian architecture, but the Thais have developed it into a unique style of their own. A sense of lightness is given to heavy material, turning brick and mortar into something highly ornate and ethereal. Let us now take a closer view of Thailand's famous Buddhist temples, with their beautiful sculptures of mythical beings and beasts. Some of the sculptures, such as these lions and these mythical birds, are in bronze, covered with gold leaf. Other figures, such as this giant temple guardian, are of stucco, painted in bright colors and set with pieces of glass and porcelain. Here is a view of the marble temple of Bangkok. Bangkok has a number of first-class hotels to cater for the large number of tourists. Here is one of them, the Ratanakosin Hotel. This is the Era 1 Hotel, said to be the most modern and the best equipped hotel in Southeast Asia. And here is a view of Bangkok Airport, also said to be the most modern in the East. Let us now take a look into the backyard of a Thai house. This is a talking miner.
Good morning.
Yes, it really talks. This young man aims to be a great boxer one day. He is training hard in the art of Thai boxing. Sarcastic encouragement. He looks very thoughtful now. Perhaps he is dreaming of victories and fame. The bird doesn't seem to think much of his boxing. It's making some very impolite criticism of his boxing style. You are now seeing a Thai boxing match. As in many other aspects of Thai life, it is accompanied by music. The boxers prostrate themselves to pay respect to the masters of boxing and to pray for victory. Before the actual fight, they are required to perform a dance. It is said that the purpose of the dance is to rid themselves of any nervousness and to loosen up their muscles. A Thai boxing match consists of 5 rounds, if the boxers last that long. One round lasts 3 minutes with 2 minutes rest. Thai boxing may be regarded as the art of logical self-defense. One is therefore allowed to kick at one's opponent and to hit him with one's elbow. Fighting, however, is not allowed, and the rest of the rules, as you can see for yourself, is more or less free spirit. Yes, it is a knockout. Now we take you to a corner of a Thai garden on the night of the river festival. One of the most romantic of Thai festivals is the Loi Krathong. On the night of the full moon in December, when the weather is cool, the people would go to the banks of rivers and streams to set afloat little boats decorated with fresh flowers and lighted candles. On such a night, the river would sparkle with candlelight, like a scene from fairyland. And here are some examples of the small decorative floats. With a full moon, a cool breeze, and with the river shining with myriads of lights, the hearts of this young couple could only turn to one thought. A wedding usually follows such a romantic experience. A Thai wedding is an occasion for floral display. The wedding ceremony begins with the most senior person present setting white cords tied together upon the heads of the bride and groom, signifying the bonds of marriage. They are then anointed with scented powder. Blessing is bestowed on them by each guest, pouring lustral water from a conch shell on their hands. Here are some Thai floral arrangements which decorate the wedding day. The wedding ceremony is now completed. A wedding is usually followed in the evening by a party to celebrate the happy event. The Rambong, which you now see, is the Thai equivalent to ballroom dancing. Rambong was originally a folk dance enjoyed by the country people. It has now been adopted by Thai city dwellers and has become very popular. Since Western dancing is still regarded with doubt by a considerable number of Thais and other Oriental peoples who disapprove of bodily contact between persons of different sexes in public, the Rambong is perhaps an example of the Thai reply to the growing influence of Western culture in the East. Rambong dance, which first became popular in Thailand, has also been adopted in place of Western dancing by other countries in Southeast Asia. And now it is time to say farewell. We beg to wish you all health, wealth, long life, and happiness.